back. So, everybody, the NFL's back. It's back, finally. After months and months of no fun sports stuff, except, if you're into baseball and the Padres stuff, the NFL's back, baby. Week 1, we're making our predictions. Our league is coming back. We'll explain everything in a minute, but welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
We're back. The NFL is back. Eric, you're back too. We're back.
Let's do it.
The NFL is back. All right, hopefully everybody can hear you. If not, chat, let us know. David Martinez, what's up? Thank you for joining us. Happy Labor Day, everybody. I know that a lot of people are not going to be able to join us, but you can check this video out later. I'm very happy right now. I'm in a great mood. I can't tell you how much I miss this. I love setting up my fantasy football lineup, starting to get mad at what the draft left me with. I am projecting.
Starting to get irrationally mad at men not doing things that they have no idea what they mean to you.
Exactly. It's stupid. Chuck Dominguez, thank you for joining us. We have our own special little league with our family. It's a separate thing. It's completely different, but it has to do with the NFL. I almost forgot about it, and I'm like, oh my god, I get to do that again. This is exciting. We have a lot of stuff, that requires kind of gambling around the NFL, which is great. Before we get into everything, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at DarioSDW and at Super Dario World. We're going to be probably streaming every Monday after every Monday night game. That's how we did it last season. Is your schedule okay with that? Can it work? Can you make it work? Can you make it work? Or is it just today because it's the holiday?
So I was checking the audio. Repeat that question.
I was saying that we're probably going to do the same thing we did last year, which is go live after Monday Night Football, after the game on Mondays. So, we can get a little schedule going again.
Yeah, I think on Mondays I could do 9 p.m.
At 9 p.m.? I think that's fine. It's okay. We'll just do like an hour. That's fine. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I mean, what? The game ends at what, 8:30? Pacific? Yeah. So there you go. It'll be fine. Anyways, David Martinez, Super Bowl draft parties, I've never gone to one. We've always been lame and done it over the internet. Like, we should, honestly, seriously, next season we should do that. You should be, hey, at least just us together in the same room. That way you can hurry people the fuck up because they take forever. And so
that's part of the reason why I'd sort of dropped out after a few rounds. I was like, I
already got my first 3 rounds. I'm good. I'm done. By the way, for those of you who never listened to this podcast, me and Eric, unfortunately, are Charger fans, maybe this season, fortunately. So we will be talking quite a bit about the Chargers, but we will make predictions of all the games. We'll talk about all the teams. That's what we do every single week. We talk about the games that just happened the weekend before, and we make predictions for the next week. We also have our own little separate league that you guys can join whenever you want. The winner of this season will get $100, just same as last season. I put $100 in. Anybody who wins gets the $100. I'll explain how the league works in a minute. But if you guys want to add anything to that, you can. You're free. I think last season, David, did you add $50 or something? I don't know. The point, Eric won. I don't care. Like, Eric won. He took all the money. Screw him.
I'm looking forward to it.
So basically what we do is we pick a winner for every single game of the week. And whoever gets, if you get the game correct, you get a point. If you don't, nothing happens. And at the end of the season, whoever has the most points wins. It's pretty straightforward, right? We also go up against God, which is basically a coin. We flip a coin, whatever. So because we had one season that we were so freaking terrible, we got everything wrong. We decided, you know what? Maybe just flipping a coin makes more sense. And if we can't beat a coin flip, then fuck it. We don't know shit about fuck when it comes to the NFL. We're just gonna stop doing it. So, David says that,
to be fair, we still don't know shit about fuck. It just means God doesn't either.
Yeah. So David says that he's putting in the $50 again. So, by the way, if Gus comes in, or Gus, if you listen to this later, do I still owe you $20 for the offseason stuff? I don't know. Hopefully he doesn't lie and I have to send him extra $20. But I'm going for the honor system here. So what else? The division is going to be interesting. Yes, it will be. And so what we're going to do here today is, since there's no games to break down, we're kind of going to break down the most interesting storyline for each team as we break down the game. So let's say we break down the game for the Ravens Chiefs, and we're going to talk a little bit about them. Just, the biggest storylines. We're not going to get too deep. We talk a little bit about every team, but we don't get crazy deep. Does that make sense to you, Eric? Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I can't go too deep. I'm not that smart.
You know what? Fair enough. And it's 32 teams to follow. It's kind of difficult. The one that we will go deepest with will probably be the Chargers, because again, we're Chargers fans. We follow those. We will probably go maybe a little bit deeper with some AFC teams, because the AFC West teams, because those are the ones that we keep a closer eye on. But overall, if you're a fan of another team and you want to put in your 2 cents, that's great. That'll actually be very helpful. By the way, you see this?
Yeah.
One of our dogs.
What happened there?
One of our dogs bit me in the face. You'll never guess which one. You'll never guess.
Link?
No. The ones that are in my parents' house. So American Akitas, right? Big dogs.
Logan?
No, Ryoga.
Did you deserve it?
The oldest, sweetest of our freaking
and
dogs.
the wisest.
And yeah, the sweetest freaking boy. He's 13 years old. Bit me in the face. And kind of.
What the hell are you doing?
I wasn't even mad. So I took him to the vet. And it's less than 2 blocks from my parents' house, which is where he lives. And halfway there, he just couldn't move anymore. And so we took it very slowly. On the way back, he was just done. He wasn't moving anymore. So I picked him up, and I was carrying freaking a 100-pound dog. I'm just carrying him, and I'm trying to go kind of fast. And, he's old. He's probably arthritic, so it's hurting him too. And at one point, he was just turned around and like, yeah, got me right in the face. Now, it wasn't a bite, because if he would have bitten me, he would have ripped off half my face. But it was more like he punched me with his teeth. And those are the marks, like upper tooth, lower tooth.
He's kind of turned and his mouth is open. So,
yeah, so if you guys look at me and you're considering calling the cops, domestic abuse or something, no, it wasn't my girlfriend. It was the dog. It was the dog, I swear. He did it. Anyway, check the Mingus. We need to get into detail about the AFC West. Sure, we'll get into detail. So anyway, league starts right now. If you want to be a part of the league, just let us know. Put in your picks. You can put it on this video. You can send it to me at DarioSDW on Instagram or at Super Dario World. I try to check it regularly. Sometimes I forget, but just remind me. Honestly, the best place for you to put it is comment on this video, because that way it's there forever. So there you go. Let's get started. Week 1.
Yeah, you can't be changing your picks, suspiciously close to the game day.
Yeah, if you're not sure, again, the league is free. It's just optional if you want to add in a little money to make it more interesting for everybody else. So there you go. And also, David, we trust him. He's a good Christian boy. He actually, fulfilled his commitment. But if you say you say I'll put in $1 million, there's no way for me to chase you down. So it's whatever. This is just for fun. Money just makes things more interesting.
Send it to my Venmo, and we'll do like an escrow thing.
Just let it gather interest throughout the season, so you actually win the interest too. Anyway, me and Eric also have a bet going on, right? So putting the money aside, Eric and me have a bet, and usually it's some sort of punishment. Whoever makes the least amount of points has to do some kind of punishment, or sometimes it's financial, whatever. Sometimes it goes all the way into the off season. Sometimes it doesn't. I already know.
That was Dark Souls 1, by the way.
It was a massive pain in the ass. Massive pain in the ass. All right. I didn't have any fun whatsoever, because I played it after playing Elden Ring. So I already knew what a good game made from Software plays like. So I'm like, this is shit. Where's my freaking double jump horse? Where is it? Torrent. Anyway.
Didn't even finish.
It was Blight Town, son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, at one point I didn't know where to go. I was just lost, and I couldn't look at anything online telling me where to go. So I was like, there's nothing for me to do. This is stupid. There's a door. I can't open the fucking door. I'm just upset.
If we would have streamed it, I would have nudged you a little bit. In the right direction.
Well, now I know. Anyway, what was I even talking about? Oh yeah, so we already know what we're gonna do.
Punishment.
We already know. We already discussed this. So Eric, look at his face. He doesn't remember. So I'm about to freaking remind him.
I'm like, shit.
So here's me and Eric's bet. And it's actually kind of simple, but kind of fun. we were watching Drake and Josh a few months back, and we saw the episode of The Punishment where they have to paint their hair pink if something happens, and we were like, that's the bet. Loser has to dye his hair pink. And so that's what's going to happen. Is it as fun as other bets? Maybe not. But at least now we know it's set in stone, and we can add other stuff to it.
And you have to say it correctly. The loser dies. Their hair pink.
That correct. I'm sorry. I ruined it. I ruined the joke. I'm sorry. Anyway, that's what we're going to do. So you can look forward to that. By the way, you still haven't said anything about my new background. I got a new background. It's still not finished, but, you know, it's a work in process.
You got square stuff there? What is it, like comics?
Yeah. So
I see that. That's Civil War right there.
Yeah, the one on the bottom. So it turns out that I was at Comic-Con, and I bought, like, a really kick-ass painting. Well, not like an art thing of Godzilla, which is epic. Actually, I can show the thing. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. So I'll entertain the people in the meantime.
So I got this.
Man. Oh.
Epic Godzilla artwork, right?
Oh,
Right?
I like that.
Right?
We like that up in here.
Yeah. And a friend of mine had given me like some legit.
How much was that?
Don't ask stupid questions. It actually was kind of cheap. It was like $30 at Comic-Con.
Like the answer is it's worth
every
whatever
penny.
it's worth.
Yeah. And so a friend of mine has given over the years gave me like a legit artwork, official art book from I don't know from Batman and other stuff. So the middle painting right there is official art book, the cover for Batman Hush, and so
Nice.
Also the comic books for Batman Hush, first editions. I figured I'll surround that with Batman Hush. I got the Civil War ones, and so I figured might as well make a whole wall out of it. I'm gonna work on the other wall, but the point is, it's different. I figured, let's add a little bit more personality back there. I'm still working on the lights, but what do you think?
Honestly, I kind of dig it. I see. It's hard to sort of.
You want to see like the full one? I'm gonna do like a full one, just really quickly, so you can kind of get a look. All right, so you can see.
So you're mirrored. That's kind of awkward.
You're awkward. I know. I think I'm mirrored on. Yeah, I'm mirrored on both. Anyway, doesn't matter. But yeah, I think it's more interesting than just a big blank white wall. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm confused about Rhea No though.
What?
Your top left. Rhea No.
Yeah, you're on air. I forgot to turn those on. Damn it. Anyway, well, we'll talk about that some other time. Let's get into the NFL. Let's get into NFL talk. So week 1, most interesting storylines for each team. Thursday night football. We begin with a rematch of the AFC Championship. Ravens versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs at home.
The reigning, defending, yet again.
Yeah, yet again. Anyway, so the most interesting storyline for the Chiefs is twofold. First off, will they three-peat, right? I'll be honest with you.
That's going to be the question the whole season, and I'm going to be annoyed at it every single time.
Listen, I don't think the Chiefs were the best team in the NFL last season. They won.
Don't have to be.
Listen, exactly. That's the thing. They don't have to be the best team. They won at the end of the day. That's all that matters, What's the Toretto line? Doesn't matter if it's by an inch or a mile. Winning's winning, right? Fast and the Furious. I thought the Ravens were a better team. Honestly, they just, lost 50 IQ points in the game against the Chiefs. And you've mentioned this before. What's the Chiefs' superpower?
Their Chiefs' superpowers, they make everybody else fucking idiots.
Yeah, that's their superpower. So the Ravens played like idiots. They didn't run the ball. It's crazy. However, the biggest storyline for the Ravens this offseason is they got one King Derrick Henry as their running back. So if they don't run the ball with Derrick freaking Henry, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, honestly, what the fuck, John Harbaugh? Just, what's wrong with you? How stupid can you be?
What? You know what's going to happen? They're not going to run the ball.
That's
what we're expecting them to do.
That only happens in the playoffs. It doesn't happen during the regular season. So I think the Ravens, who were a better team than the Chiefs, in my humble opinion, last season, should come out on top this season, right? At least in the season opener. Also, the Chiefs, the receiving core, kind of a mess. So Rashee Rice, you guys remember who was their best wide receiver last season? Rookie, but best wide receiver, got arrested for street racing earlier in the offseason. They haven't suspended him yet, so maybe he won't get suspended until next season. But the dude's in legal trouble. He will probably get in trouble with the NFL as well because the NFL's like that. You know, they just like sticking their noses everywhere.
Why are professional athletes so weird?
Why are they so stupid? Why are they so stupid?
Can you just be rich in the offseason
No.
and be done with it?
Nope. Kadarius Toney, 2-time Super Bowl winning wide receiver for the Chiefs, got cut. They cut him. Honestly, this one hurts me because I'd rather have Kadarius Toney out there because the dude couldn't. Him and a sack of potatoes had equal odds of catching the ball. So, I'm gonna miss him, but you know he's gone.
How many rings you got, bitch?
The big offseason signing. Hollywood. Listen, he wins. All right. The big offseason.
Point taken. All right.
Yeah. The big. You didn't have to destroy me that badly. All right. I thought we were friends. I thought we were family. I thought we were amigos. Anyway.
I thought we was boys.
Their big offseason signing, Hollywood Brown, injured. So he'll probably be out a few weeks. And finally, they had their first round draft pick, which by Xavier Worthy, the fastest guy in the NFL draft. First off, well, he's a rookie. You don't know what the fuck a rookie's gonna be, but the fastest guy in the NFL draft, right? So they're expecting him to be kind of like their next Tyreek Hill. Buffalo Bills.
Worthy?
What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with the Buffalo Bills trading down with the freaking Chiefs and letting them get the fastest wide receiver in the fucking draft? And you know what the Bills got? You know what the Bills got with their first pick? A fucking wide receiver! What the fuck are they doing? What? Listen.
Listen, Bills and wide receivers clearly, yeah, there's an issue there.
What's the issue? By the way, Chuck Dominguez, what are you saying
Fun.
boo? What are you saying boo to? What? Oh no, we'll get to the Bills in a minute because yeah, that's their biggest storyline. Who the fuck's their wide receiver, right? But
Josh Allen?
he's just gonna do everything. So in this game, write me down for it. I take the Ravens to win. I think they're still salty from the AFC Championship game. You know Travis Kelce's gonna talk shit, and so I think they're gonna be hitting a little bit harder than they usually would. I think they're going to be a little bit more motivated than they usually would. And holy shit, Derrick Henry is running the fucking football. So you got Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. I like the Ravens to win the season opener. What do you think?
Okay, so we're starting off with a disagreement. I'm going with the Chiefs. I've played this before. I've done this before.
All right, fine. Fair enough.
I've done this.
All right, so we got a coin. Tails is the logo for Super Smash Brothers. Heads is, you know, the actual words. So here we go. God picks home.
Yes, he does.
All right, next. This is the first Brazil game, by the way, and it's gonna be on Friday or Saturday. Let me check. Let me check that real quick. I don't want to be a liar. I don't want to be a liar. So it's Friday. So Friday night. No, there's no Saturday game because that's usually college. That's college football. So the Saturday game is between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles, right? They will be playing the first game in Brazil. I don't think it's gonna affect them that much that it's in Brazil, or it's gonna affect both teams equally, but you know, you never know. So Eric, should we go storylines or picks?
Let's do storylines, I guess.
All right, so biggest storylines. I'm just trying to fix this a little bit because it looked ugly and I hated it. I hate it when things look ugly.
Storyline is Jordan Love got fucking paid.
All right, so yes, one storyline. I actually had another one. Let me just. Sorry.
Also, Gus Becerra, yes, you do get to pick games again. It's time.
Gus Becerra, did I pay you the $20 for the playoff stuff?
No. Say no.
Just I trust you, man. You're a good Christian boy. You won't lie to me. Anyway, he'll let us know eventually. Let me just order, send this, move down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, whoever wants to participate in our league, just put your picks in as a comment on this
Stream
video, and I'll put it. It would be better on the video, but if you want to put it on the stream, it's fine.
I think it's better on the stream. But anyway, all right, so fixed it. Okay, so biggest storyline for the Packers, obviously, Jordan Love got paid, but also they added one Josh Jacobs. So
Also, Gus says he's Catholic, not Christian. Come on, man. We all love Jesus up in here.
it's basically like the same thing, right? Just one's easier. Anyway, so Josh Jacobs, former running back for the Raiders, one of the best running backs in the league. The reason why I have him here is the Green Bay Packers are an interesting team because they overperformed last season, right? Nobody expected shit from them. Jordan Love was playing terribly, and then all of a sudden, boom, they made it to the playoffs. They started playing like freaking crazy. Jordan Love looked better than Aaron Rodgers at times, right?
And you remember the game where they turned it all around?
Yeah, against the Chargers.
Yes, they did.
Exactly.
God damn, that was the day Jordan Love got paid.
Yeah, exactly. So now they got, I believe Aaron Jones was injured a lot of the season for a big majority of it. Now they get a younger running back, Josh Jacobs, and for Josh Jacobs, this is the best team that he's ever played with. It's the best head coach, the best QB, the best O-line. So I'm expecting
they're the youngest team overall in the NFL, aren't they?
I think so still. So I'm expecting big things out of Josh Jacobs. Now, I wish good things to happen to him because he's not with the Raiders anymore. So he's not a criminal anymore. He's in Green Bay. He's a good Christian boy. So I'm expecting big things from him. Also, he's my third running back in NFL fantasy. So I want him to perform. I want him to do good. Be the freaking league MVP, baby. So there you go.
All right.
The big storyline for the Philadelphia Eagles is that they changed their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. Now, for the defensive coordinator, they got Vic Fangio, who is a legit defensive coordinator, one of the best in the NFL, in my humble opinion. However, Kellen Moore, former offensive coordinator for the Chargers last season. And before that, the Cowboys. Now, with the Cowboys, they did good, but you guys remember how the Eagles collapsed? They started off on a hot streak, like I think 6 games in a row, and then they just totally collapsed and were out of the playoffs. So they fired all of the offensive coordinators. This is the last.
Did they not make it to the playoffs, or did they make it like wild card and then get eliminated?
Maybe. I think actually they did make it to the playoffs barely as a wild card, and then they got kicked out immediately. So they fired the offensive coordinators. I think this is the last chance for the head coach of the Eagles, whose name is escaping me right now.
Sirianni.
There you go, Sirianni. So, interesting thing here. If the Eagles...
I was thinking Satriani, but no, that's a guitar player.
No, Sirianni. If the Eagles don't do well this season, I think Sirianni's out of there. And it would be a very interesting landing spot for one Mr. Bill Belichick. I don't know what you think.
That would be interesting, although it seems like Bill's the cat's right here. He's just right there.
That cat's, he's a wild card. He's always doing stuff. He's either farting while we're recording or he's blocking the camera. Like, pay attention to me.
There's the cat.
You know what's crazy? I mentioned this about this cat. That cat's color pattern is identical to my dog's. Black and a little bit of white in the chest. Identical.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue what you were saying.
So, Belichick has gotten busy with the freaking McAfee stuff and whatnot. So I think honestly he's gonna enjoy retirement.
Dude, I think Bill Belichick has had the best offseason out of everybody else. One, he did not get terrible jobs because most of the teams that were up for looking for head coaches were terrible organizations. Two, he's completely changed this image. Going on the Pat McAfee show, being on the draft, they showed how charismatic he is, how likable he is, how he has actually a lot of very interesting things to say about football, how smart he is about football. And
who would have thought the greatest head coach of all time has a lot of interesting things to say about football?
Yeah, but he didn't do it with the media. And 3,
that's what I love about McAfee.
Yeah, him appearing on the freaking Tom Brady roast was phenomenal because you were like, he's never gonna be there, and they're talking shit about him left and right, and he showed his face. He was there. It was like, oh my freaking god! So good for Bill Belichick. I think his public persona has completely changed. I hope nothing but the best for him, and thank God he didn't go to the fucking Falcons because talk about a shit show. I almost made a freaking podcast just saying the title being "What the Falcons." Because of how fucking stupid they've been this offseason. But we'll get there. We'll get there.
I know, isn't it terrible?
Yeah. Anyway, let me see this real quick. Gus, it's okay to lie as long as you confess. Lol. That's a good one, Chuck. No, but it's cool. I appreciate the sentiment. Oh, there you go. You're welcome. Let me know. I can send you. You know what? If you win this season, I'll add $20 on top. You know what?
Well, he said he said put those $20 into this year's prize pool.
Oh, okay. There you go. Fair enough. So now the prize pool is up to 170 for anybody who wants to join. Chuck Dominguez says Green Bay for this one. By the way, Gus, really quickly, game 1, Ravens versus Chiefs. Who do you think is going to win? Let's continue here. So Eric, who do you think is going to win? I picked last time. This is your turn.
I'm going to go with the Packers of Green Bay.
Packers
That's
of Green Bay.
Go for. I think I like their vibe better. I don't like how the Eagles ended up. I think Joe Satriani or Coach Sirianni, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he doesn't get along that well with Hurts, and I think it's going to hurt him. And
no pun intended.
That's as deep as my football analysis is at the moment, that I haven't seen games since for like months.
All right, so the biggest issue with the Eagles late in the season was their defense. Vic Fangio will help there. However, listen, I liked every single thing I've watched coaching wise from the Green Bay Packers. The players, they played above average, which is, if you have a good head coach with a good scheme, LaFleur did a phenomenal job, and it's very creative. So I think I agree with you. The Packers should squeak away with this one, especially because they're building on top of what they already set up last season. The Eagles have to start from scratch. New OC, new DC, new offensive coordinator, new defense. It'll take a while for that to start gelling. So I agree with you. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers, and let's see what God thinks. God went home. So let me see who's counted as home for this particular game. It is at the Eagles. Okay, yeah. So there you go. Next, and one of my favorite topics to discuss is the Philadelphia Eagles versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. So let's start with the easy one. Pittsburgh Steelers.
Atlanta Falcons.
What did I say?
The Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, well, clearly I'm an idiot. Anyway, so the Atlanta Falcons versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers. Quarterback controversy. They got Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. And apparently, they're both fucking up. So here's the big issue that I saw from the offseason. By the way, Justin Fields, former quarterback for the Chicago Bears. Russell Wilson, former quarterback for the Broncos. And before that, the Seattle Seahawks Super Bowl winner, right?
Not with the Broncos.
Russell Wilson barely has anything left in the tank. At least that's how he looked with the Broncos. Now, he wasn't as terrible under Sean Payton, but he was still pretty terrible. And when he was signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers, he loaded a video onto social media that he looked like he wanted to be like threatening, like showing his workout and stuff. He looked so slow. And I mean so freaking slow. So this, like,
how old is he? Like mid-30s now?
I don't know, but he's getting up there. And he's not as fast as he used to be. He's not as impressive as he used to be. And also, it seems like he's not a great locker room guy. He annoys people. Like he looks like one of those guys and appears to be one of those guys who thinks that his shit doesn't stink. And so that tends to be annoying. On the other hand, Justin Fields is supposedly like a really nice guy. He's more energetic. He's more one of the guys. So Justin Fields is kind of winning over the locker room, but Russell Wilson is winning over the coaches. So it's a very interesting quarterback controversy because I think Russell Wilson did not practice for a few games. So Justin Fields had an opportunity to play more with the team. It's a fucking
we get
mess.
a Hard Knocks season with this team?
Well, never, because the Pittsburgh Steelers don't have losing seasons. So this might be their first. I don't know. It's a very interesting situation, to say the least. I want to know when Russell Wilson will get benched, because that's my prediction. He will get benched because
Russell Wilson is 35.
See, he's getting up there. So I think he will get benched eventually. Oh my God, I can't wait to see it happen, because it's not gonna be pretty. I think it's gonna be very, very ugly when it happens. So I'm very excited to see what happens in Pittsburgh, and I never thought I'd say that. This might be the first losing season for the Steelers in the entire Mike Tomlin, era.
All right, this is gonna be my prediction for the Steelers game. The Steelers are going to continue to be the most fucking boring team to watch.
Good
and
team,
they're
bad.
probably still going to keep getting a couple of wins there, and you're going to be like, what the fuck, they won?
Listen.
Okay.
The Steelers have like the highest paid defense in the league. They have an elite defense. Here's something that a lot of people don't understand. You can win games without an offense. You cannot win games without a defense. That is law. Every single rule in the NFL is made to give the offense an advantage. And they still are not the most important part of any team. You can win without an offense. We've seen it happen. You cannot win without a defense. We've seen that happen. So there's a reason why they say defense wins championships. And I'm not saying you have to have the best defense. I'm saying you need to have a defense. Somebody that's, let's say, on the top half of the NFL as far as teams go. The Steelers have always had an elite defense, and that's why they're in the playoffs, or at least in the hunt. That's why they've had a winning season under Mike Tomlin forever, because the defense keeps them in there. I don't know why they can't figure out the offense, but the defense, they've got it down.
And it's so fucking boring.
I know it's not fun to watch unless you're into defense, and I like defense, so there you go. Now
Don't pretend you enjoy Steelers games.
Oh, never, because I don't care about that team. But anyway, next, the most hilarious.
Also, real quick, thank you, Gus. I'll put all your picks in there.
All right. The most hilarious storyline of the offseason, the most interesting team probably for the worst reasons, the freaking Atlanta Falcons, which, Eric, you can say it.
Look at the Kirk Cousins' face.
You can say
the fucking feckity fuck of the Falcons.
There you go. Let's go through this kind of quickly. First off, they had an opportunity of hiring the greatest coach in the NFL history, the GOAT, Bill freaking Belichick, and they went with
to be fair, that would have been like hiring the guy who fucked your wife, you know? Like, this is the guy who humiliated you in the fucking Super Bowl, the biggest fucking humiliation there's ever been.
True.
And yes, I am counting that time Peyton Manning got destroyed by the Legion of Boom.
Yeah, listen, do you want to win? Like, you need to understand, the Falcons owner, he's very, very old. And so the dude is in a win-now mentality. So if you're in a win-now mentality, you get the greatest head coach of all time. You don't go with a failed head coach. So they got the defensive coordinator for the Rams, who did a great job as the defensive coordinator for the Rams. Well, he also worked with the Falcons before, so I think he had that advantage there. But the dude has been a head coach before, and he sucked. I don't remember his name. There's too many names in my head right now. I don't remember his name exactly, Eric, if you want to look it up. But the dude has failed as head coach before. So picking him over Bill Belichick, I thought this is the stupidest thing that the Falcons could do this entire offseason. And boy, was I wrong. Jesus Christ. So, Fisher?
Raheem Morris?
Oh, yeah, Raheem Morris. Yeah, Raheem Morris.
Wasn't that a player?
I think so. But anyway.
Is that another Raheem?
I mean, there's a lot of Raheems. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Then.
Why is there so many Raheems?
They did a very smart move. They got one of the sexiest free agents out there, Kirk Cousins, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's honestly was on track to be maybe the MVP of last season. The dude he was slinging the ball like crazy. They weren't winning games, but he was making points like crazy. Hit him Justin Jefferson up with the Vikings, and the Vikings let him go because I don't know, he's old and he got injured and they wanted to move on, and they had an opportunity to have a high draft pick. So we're like, you know what, Kirk, we want something new. We want a young guy. Get the fuck out of Dodge. And Kirk was like, all right, fuck you guys. I'm going to Atlanta. I'm going to go to Atlanta. I'm going to win a fucking Super Bowl. And so he went to Atlanta because Atlanta supposedly has a really good team. And then the draft hits. And with, what was it, the 8th overall pick or something? The Falcons draft Michael Penix Jr., another quarterback. And so this was widely considered to be the dumbest decision any team has ever made in the draft, maybe ever. Why? Because you just got Kirk Cousins, a quarterback. You paid him a buttload of money to get him there, right? A buttload of money. The dude wants to win now. You want your franchise to win now. You would think that they would invest in giving him weapons to win right now. You know, so they need a They need an edge rusher. You think they could have drafted the best one in the league? In the draft, because at that point they hadn't drafted any defensive players. So you could have gotten the best defensive player in the draft. You could have got him one of the best wide receivers, one of the best anything. But they went with a quarterback. And by the way, not just any quarterback. The quarterback that most analysts thought was the most NFL ready quarterback, the oldest quarterback in this draft. So you have an older quarterback who's ready to win now and a younger quarterback who's ready to play now. Like, out of all the quarterbacks that you could have had sitting behind Kirk Cousins learning, you picked the worst fucking one. So you put yourself in a situation where your older vet quarterback feels like you spat on his face, and your new quarterback is like, fuck, I'm never gonna play. I'm gonna be 28 by the time my second contract is up, and you know what? I might not have played a single NFL game. It's nuts. It's insanity. It's stupid. And for all the people who are like, well, maybe they thought this is the best thing for the future of the franchise, blah, blah. Dude, if the Falcons don't win the Super Bowl this season, because what they're saying is like, we have everything ready to win right now. We didn't need a defensive tackle. We didn't need a cornerback. We didn't need a lineman. We didn't need anything. We're so freaking good right now that our first round draft pick was a bench player. That's how good we are. If they don't win the Super Bowl this fucking season, they're fucking retards. And you know what? I don't like their odds. I don't like their fucking odds.
Fuck the Falcons.
Stupid can you be? Jesus Christ. Good. Again, this is a situation where neither one of your quarterbacks is happy. You would argue that the person you want to be the happiest in your team is the quarterback, and you spat on his face. You could have gotten any other quarterback. You could have gotten Gardner Minshew. You could have gotten Ryan Tannehill. You could have gotten anybody else. But you went with the best quarterback in free agency, paid him a buttload of money, and spat on his face day one. What is going on in Atlanta? What? Jesus Christ.
Who cares? Fuck them.
Now again,
fuck them forever.
Listen, I might be wrong. This might have been the smartest move in the NFL or something.
Yeah, watch them win a bunch.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it. Right? No team is so freaking stacked that you can just throw away a first round draft pick on a bench player. No team. It's ridiculous. But whatever, it's Atlanta. They don't deserve anything good.
I respect Chuck Dominguez's point. I don't care if the Falcons win the Super Bowl. I just don't want Russell Wilson to start the season with a dub.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway, so Eric, let's make our picks. I go first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
All right. So as things are right now, I think the Steelers have a better defense. The Falcons have a better offense. If I'm going with the logic that I said before, I think who's home? I forgot. Let me check this real quick. Whoever's Falcons. At home, I'm picking whoever's at home.
All right, you going with the Falcons?
No, they're too stupid. Give me the Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers.
Yeah, I'm going with the Steelers too. Sorry, I can't. It's on brand at this point.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. God picks home. Gus Becerra says Jordan Love sat for 3 years. Jordan Love sat behind Aaron Rodgers. And
he did play that one COVID game.
Yeah. Also, he has Matt LaFleur as the head coach. An offensive genius up to this point. Or at least he's painting out to be. Aaron Rodgers had an MVP season under him. Jordan Love looked phenomenal under Matt LaFleur.
Matt LaFleur did have that weird thing in the playoffs where he kicked a field goal when Brady everything Brady needed to do was get a first down.
He did go too conservative. I agree with that. But I mean, as far as working with his quarterbacks, I mean, and the dude worked around Aaron Rodgers basically, and he did a good job. I don't think Raheem Morris is going to be able to do as good a job as Matt LaFleur. At least I doubt it. And again, Kirk Cousins, while good at times, is no Aaron Rodgers. But, whatever. And again, Jordan Love is still very young. Jordan Love's like, what, 23? Maybe? He's not Michael Penix. Michael Penix, I think he's 24. Maybe 25. So...
Well, let me see.
It's...
How do you write his last name?
Penix, P-E-N-I-X.
Phoenix with a P.
Without the H. Phoenix
He's
is also
24.
Phoenix is also with a it's a PH.
Yeah.
Phoenix. Penix.
Yeah, he's 24.
Yeah. He's again old for the NFL for starting your career in the NFL.
Jordan Love is 25.
Really? But he entered the league at 22.
Oh, yeah, that's how time works.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. So let's continue. We got interesting game.
Oh, flip the coin for God.
I already did. It went home.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So next, we got the Arizona Cardinals visiting the Buffalo Bills. And so the big storylines for these two teams have to do around wide receivers. So the Buffalo Bills let go of Stephon frickin' Diggs, their best wide receiver.
I'm gonna defend this.
Go ahead.
I just did. I'm defending the decision. I didn't say I was gonna argue it.
It's on the record. I defend it. Listen, I get it. Stephon Diggs was getting too expensive. He's also kind of a diva. The dude
he's a bit too much of a diva. That's the problem.
He's one of the best wide receivers. Listen, he's one of the best.
That happened with Minnesota.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the league. He's maybe past his prime, but his complaint was, you don't give me the ball enough, which is, kind of fair. I don't know how Sean McDermott kept his job. I honestly do not know. Josh Allen is wasted under this head coach. It's a defensive head coach with one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Maybe the most physically talented. And his career's not going to be very long because the dude is brutal with his body. He takes too many freaking hits. So the prime of Josh Allen's career has been wasted on the Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott has made it to the playoffs because Josh Allen is freaking Superman. Because Josh Allen has willed his team to victory more than once. So it's not because of him. And his career has been wasted. Like, imagine somebody like, I don't know, let's say the head coach for the Minnesota Vikings. I forget his name, but the dude's offensively has been actually pretty good. The dude just has terrible luck with quarterbacks. They're always injured. And so if he would have had Josh Allen, I think Josh Allen would have been the league MVP several years in a row. But, maybe that's God balancing the world, like the balancing everything. Who knows? Point is, they took away his best weapon. Who knows what that offense is going to look like? On the other hand...
They also took away Gabe Davis.
True. On the other hand, the Arizona Cardinals got probably the best wide receiver in the draft. It was debatable if he was Marvin Harrison Jr., if he was going to be the best or not. So, more weapons for Arizona, less weapons for the Bills. Who do you like, Eric?
Oh, man. Kyler's all the way back, isn't he?
All right, Gus Becerra, Kincaid's their best wide receiver for the Bills. Check the Mingus Bills Mafia. So yeah, Kyler is back, and there's no Call of Duty release soon, I think.
Well, there's Black Ops 6 coming out, I think.
But not this week. Not this week.
Oh, you better believe it. I think, you know what? The Bills have disappointed me so fucking much. I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one.
Risky.
Plus, they're not playing at home.
Okay.
The Bills are playing at home. The Cardinals don't win at home.
That's why I was going to say, going into Buffalo, first game of the season, I think it's
not that cold yet.
I know it's not that cold yet, but I mean, the people are there crazy. They're insane. They live in New York. So I'm going to go with the Bills.
They're sane enough not to call themselves New York.
The Arizona Cardinals, I don't think they're there yet. At least they didn't show it last season. Their defense was terrible. They played with a lot of spunk. They were spunky. They played. They punched
McCoy?
above their weight.
Colt McCoy?
What?
Or was the other guy?
No. It was Dobbs. The bald guy.
It was Caillou.
Yeah. So they punched above their weight class. They were feisty.
They were lovable.
I just don't think they're there yet. So I'm gonna go with the Bills, and God picked the way. So there you go.
Let's go, God.
Next.
But Also, just as a little thing, Josh, I'm older than Josh Allen by like 4 months. This is depressing.
Yeah, whatever. Let's see. Chuck Dominguez. Anybody who lives or wants to live in New York is insane. Yes, I agree. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans. Let me see. Visiting the Chicago Bears. So the big storyline for the Chicago Bears is, in my whole opinion, that they got wide receiver Keenan Allen from the Chargers. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but the Chargers traded Keenan Allen to the Bears early in the offseason. So I think we did our last NFL podcast, and literally the next week, the Chargers traded Keenan Allen. So massive, massive upgrade for the Bears in wide receiver, because if Keenan Allen is their wide receiver too, Keenan Allen is, in my humble opinion, unblockable. He's a year older. He's old.
He's washed.
He's old.
He's done.
I don't think so. But I think he's kind of injured. But the problem is that A, he's older, and B, he's kind of injury prone. But the man is unblockable. So they also have a rookie quarterback, Caleb Williams, supposedly the best quarterback in the draft. So he has, let's just say, I think Keenan Allen's going to have a good season because Caleb Williams will use him as his safety blanket. Now, they also have DJ Moore, who's a very talented wide receiver, legit receiver one, younger. But the thing is, I think Caleb Williams will prefer the safety blanket of Keenan Allen. And they also drafted Rome Odunze. So this might be the best wide receiver room in the entire NFL. It's at least in the conversation. The Bears have actually done a pretty good job lately. At least their general manager has done a pretty good job. So I
know, but it's just kind of weird to think that the Bears have a strong wide receiver core.
I know. It's bizarre. Like, they're changing their identity, but you know what? Good for them. This has to be the last opportunity for their head coach. Like, the very last one. If you can't make it work with a new revamped wide receiver core, fresh, what supposedly the best freaking quarterback in the draft, who, by the way, I found this hysterical, Caleb Williams. I was watching the Pat McAfee draft with Bill Belichick, and so Bill Belichick gives his analysis, and it seems fair, very objective. Like, okay, these are his pluses, these are his negatives, blah blah. He could be this, he could be that, things that he needs to work on, blah blah blah. And then there's another asshole in that table who I have no idea who that is, but that idiot was saying, no, this guy, to me, Caleb is the best player I've ever seen. He's like a mix between Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers. And I'm like, who the fuck is this clown? What? He's a mix between two of the greatest quarterbacks of all time? Like, maybe the most physically talented one and the most intellectually talented one? Are you kidding me? Like, Aaron Rodgers is, unfortunately, he might be too smart for his own good when it comes to playing football.
Okay, the intellectual one was Rodgers. Okay.
Yeah. No. Patrick Mahomes is the most physically talented one. I'll give him that. Aaron Rodgers might be let's just say naturally talented intellectually wise, because the way that the dude freaking slays people out in the field is crazy, and it's very cerebral. It used to be better when he was more athletically talented, but you know, age destroys everybody. But whatever. Point is, who the fuck is that clown to make that claim? It's insanity. It's crazy. But whatever. Point is, the Bears are actually in a pretty interesting situation. And as far as the Titans go, the Titans spend a lot of money. They have another very interesting wide receiver core. So they got Calvin Ridley. They got Hopkins. And they have somebody else. I forget. However, they do have a new head coach, Brian Callahan. And they spent a lot of money. They let go of a lot of people. It's been an interesting turnaround in Tennessee.
Is Tannehill still there?
No, Tannehill got let go. It's Will Levis now. It's a Will Levis show. No. What? No, he's sitting out this season. Don't have a job? No. I think he's doing the Joe Flacco thing. He's just kind of waiting for his phone to ring whenever a good team loses a quarterback, which will probably be the Bengals. But, you know, probably. So it's one of those things that... What?
Or the Vikings.
True. I mean, the Vikings are pretty close to needing a new quarterback. So Brian Callahan, the former offensive coordinator for the Bengals, did a good job for the Bengals, but it's a first-time head coach. We'll see how he does. Best of luck to him. The Titans organization is not one of the best in the NFL, and it was kind of a shit show. I like their former head coach, but we'll see how it goes. The former, what was it? Did he win head coach of the year? I forget his name again. Titans head coach.
Bravel.
Yeah, Mike Bravel. Did he win? He was the number 1 seed. Did he win head coach of the year that season when they were the number 1 seed?
Yeah. That's not a. Let's look at it. Head coaches of the year.
Well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Point is, who do you like for this game?
It feels weird to say that I actually kind of have faith in the Bears.
Fair enough. Yeah. I think the Titans will do terrible this season. I think the Bears will be mediocre to good if Caleb Williams does not suck. So I don't like the kid's attitude, but, we'll see. All right.
So you're going with the Titans?
No, I'm going with the Bears.
Damn it. I thought I was going to fool you.
Home. God picks home. Let me see. Chuck Dominguez, who said that? Fuck it. I'll rewatch it. Fuck it. I rewatched Remember the Titans today. So Titans. All right. Fair enough. Great movie. Phenomenal movie. Not about these Titans, but whatever. Gus Becerra, speaking of the Titans, did you guys see the Netflix Untold about Steve McClare? I did not know. Not yet. I might. Is it good? What was I saying?
Real quick. In 2021, Mike Bravel won. Then 2022 was Brian Dable.
Okay.
Which was the Giants coach. Fair enough.
And then they imploded?
He was a good coach. You gotta give him credit.
It's the players that failed him. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, and 2023 it was Kevin Stefanski from the Browns.
Fair enough. Next, we got the Bengals against the Patriots. So, Bengals at home, Patriots visiting. Listen, the Patriots might have the worst roster in the NFL, so there's not much I want to talk about them. They have a new head coach, Gerard Mayo. I think their best defensive player is at Hightower wanted to quit. They had a bunch of issues on the field, on the practice field. Who knows what happened? This is the offseason.
They lost the greatest head coach of all time.
Lost the greatest head coach. They drafted a new quarterback Drake May, I believe. No, Drake May is with the Commanders. I don't know. They drafted a new freaking quarterback. And they're starting with Jacoby Brissett. So that's not good.
That's always the mark of death, isn't it?
Yeah. So,
well, you guys got Jacoby now?
Yeah. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. As far as the Bengals go, the only storyline that matters really, because, Higgins was complaining he wanted money. Jamar Chase wants money. The only thing that matters for this team is not how much you pay your wide receivers. It's whether or not Joe Burrow is upright. That's it. Yep. That's the only thing. Is Joe Burrow, because the thing here, the injury that he had supposedly does not have 100% recovery rate. Like it's not a coin toss. It was a thing with the elbow. It was weird. He threw a touchdown and then he couldn't go out and throw anymore. So I think it's a baseball injury and it has like a 70% recovery rate. So
is that a Tommy John?
Not exactly. It's something. I don't remember what it is. Honestly, I don't know. But what I've heard is that it doesn't have a 100% recovery rate. So who knows what'll happen? And even if he does recover from that one, who knows how long he'll play? Because this dude has missed two full seasons out of 4. So we'll see. He might be a season MVP if he plays the entire season. He might go to the Super Bowl. He might win. We'll see if he plays. I don't know. And also, they lost their offensive coordinator, who was pretty good. So we'll see. For this particular game, again, worst roster in the NFL might be the Patriots. So give me the Bengals.
Yeah, even though there's a question mark about Burrow, but I got exactly zero faith in the Patriots.
The question mark about Burrow is not talent, it's health.
I think he can beat him with his other arm.
Yeah, that's how bad the Patriots are. We'll see how they go. But let's see what God thinks. Home. God picks home. So okay, Chuck Dominguez is saying that the Steve McNair Untold is good. 1777 memorabilia. Where's the upsets at? Everybody picking the favorites. Face green smiling. Face blue wild eyes. I don't know. I'm assuming he's trying to do an emoji. Same as Brock Purdy, I think. I don't know what Gus Becerra's talking about there.
Oh, the same injury.
Oh, okay. I need to clarify this memorabilia. We're trying to pick who's going to win. That's why we kind of go with the favorites.
Yeah, there's money here.
Yeah, there's money involved. We want to win money. And so, or actually,
I like money.
Yeah. So we pick the teams who are most likely to win, right? If this were just,
As far as we know, most seasons we go under 50.
Listen, we don't know shit about fuck. We're usually wrong.
No.
Usually wrong. But we still give it a shot, you know? We give it a shot.
Fun. We're here every.
It's enjoyable. It's a good experience. It's fun. Anyway, next we got.
It's fun to have the chat here, you know, giving us shit.
Exactly, you know, and then they'll throw it in our faces. They'll make us feel like fools. Anyway, next we got a AFC South showdown, a rematch of of what should have been basically a playoff game. Whoever won was in the playoffs. The Indianapolis Colts hosting the Houston Texans. Two very interesting teams. We'll go with a very easy one here. Indianapolis Colts. Will Anthony Richards stay healthy? Supposedly a very physically talented QB. I thought he did an okay job the game that he played, but you know, injured.
Good for a couple games.
Yeah,
I think.
Injured almost immediately. So we'll see how he plays when he gets back. I think their head coach, who was a former Chargers coach, by the way, did a great job there. They had one of the best running backs in the league. Taylor, he hasn't been as great as his super season, but you know, we'll see how they go. I think they're okay. They have a shot at taking the AFC South. I don't know what you think. What do you think? I don't know what you think. What do you think?
God, I really like the Texans, man.
Oh wait, no.
Anthony...
We're talking about the Colts right now. We'll talk about the Texans in a minute.
Well, I don't know. I feel like Anthony Richardson kind of reminded me of Carson Wentz.
Mm-hmm.
Where he seems like that type of quarterback that refuses to give up on any play.
Okay.
And so he will go down swinging, and he will go down hard, and he will go down injured.
Mm-hmm.
So, is he a good ball player? Yeah. Is he going to survive a 17-week or 17-game season?
Nah.
Playing like that, it's hard for me to...
No. So far, the only player who's been able to survive that way is Josh Allen. Dude's a bull. And nobody else is built that way. And this dude showed it like 2 games in. So he needs to alter his style of play.
Which
yesterday. He might. On the other side of this matchup, we got the Texans, who their big storyline this offseason is they got a one Stephon Diggs. So their wide receiver.
Their big offseason story is that they're going to win the Super Bowl.
So here's the thing. CJ Stroud, phenomenal rookie season, right? Phenomenal. One small caveat here. He did lose his quarterbacks coach, Shane Day, who's actually a phenomenal quarterbacks coach. Justin Herbert had him his rookie season, and it was probably like his numbers were bonanza. Then the Texans got him, and the Texans have CJ Stroud his rookie season, bonanza. So we'll see if there's a drop off there from losing Shane Day. I think there'll be a little bit, not too much. But then again, maybe CJ Stroud, sophomore year, gets even better. Who knows? Point is, I think the defense got better. They have the defensive rookie of the year there, Anderson, I believe, who might be the defensive MVP this season. Who knows? CJ Stroud might be the offensive MVP. Who knows? There's a lot of very interesting things happening in freaking Houston. And the best part of this is that I freaking called it. I called it last year. I told you the Texans will be interesting to watch. They might be 1 or 2 years away, but I think they will be better now because they have a good head coach, a very interesting head coach. It all depends on whether or not the rookie QB hits, and they hit. So I think the route to winning the AFC South will go through Houston for the foreseeable future. I really like that team. And again, they already had a legit wide receiver. Now they have Stephon Diggs as a backup. So I see good things in the Texans' future. I don't know what you think.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Texans. I'm a big fan of them.
Yeah, easy pick.
I
So
think
there you go. That's all we need to say.
I think
Gotta win away.
we're gonna do our dark horse picks course, right?
Of course. Dark
All
horse
right,
pick.
so for
Is this your boy?
okay,
Is this your boy?
so wait, don't we do one where we're like, all right, this one's gonna win, but then this is also my dark horse, or
Sure.
is it 2 picks or 1?
Yeah.
Okay, who's gonna win the Super Bowl? Go. If you had to put all your money,
All my money right now.
all your money right now,
I'm gonna go.
gun to your head. Look at that. We're gun right to your head.
You're not even. Oh, okay. It's aiming at me. You son of a bitch.
Yeah.
How dare you
that's
betray
right.
me?
That's right.
I like the Lions.
Do I shoot you already?
If you can't, I mean, I already picked the Lions. Look at.
All right.
Let me go.
Man, that's an interesting pick. Okay.
I think the Lions got better. But when we get to Lions, I'll talk a little bit about them. But
I'll do fucking one of these years the 49ers got to win, right?
not with freaking Shanahan.
I'll take the Niners.
All right, fair enough. Honestly, I wanted
But
to,
my dark horse.
is the Texans.
Actually, I think my dark horse is the Lions.
Listen, I wanted to pick the Ravens. I really wanted to pick the Ravens because, again, I think they might be the best team in the NFL. However, the reason why I did not pick them is because I think that the Lions are slightly more desperate. They're hungrier. They're younger. The issue with the Ravens is that they're an old team. So right now, they're really good. But I don't know if they're going to last the entire season. I don't know if... I feel like... And last season, they did not get injured at all. So they were very lucky. But I think they're going to start... They're going to have a few more injuries this season. And the Lions are younger. They're hungrier. They're slightly more desperate. So who knows? And I don't love that the head coach takes dumb risks sometimes. Maybe he learned. But we'll see. We'll see.
That's kind of what you love about him, though, right?
Yeah, they're lovable idiots. But anyway,
He's a fucking meathead.
by the way,
you gotta fucking love him.
God picked the way. So,
All right.
next.
You picked the Texans too, right?
yeah. Next, the Florida Bowl. We got the Jacksonville Jaguars visiting the Miami Dolphins. So, big storyline for the Dolphins. Tua got paid. They paid him money, even though he's not that great, but whatever. And
Doesn't matter. Every fucking quarterback's getting paid now.
yeah, definitely.
Did Dak get his bag yet?
What?
Did Dak get his bag yet?
I don't know. I don't think so. But who cares, honestly? The Miami Dolphins, interesting team. Their offense is spicy. However, they lost their defensive coordinator, if I'm not mistaken, Vic Fangio, I think. They lost him from him. And I think Tyreek Hill is injured right now, so I don't love him. However, on the other hand, I don't love the Jaguars either. The big question mark here is Trevor Lawrence. Is he for real or
very
not?
mid. He looked very mid.
Yeah.
Season, and he got paid.
So, honestly, I don't like either team, so I'm just gonna go with the home field advantage and honestly, I like their head coach a little bit better. So I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I don't love it. I don't even care about this game. I hope they both
I'm gonna go
lose.
a little conservative here, and yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dolphins too,
All right.
just for home field.
Yeah, God picked the way. Next, we got the New Orleans Saints hosting the Carolina Panthers. And there is a actually, no, there's no storylines for these teams. I don't give a fuck about either of them. I don't know how the head coach did not get fired for the Saints. The Carolina Panthers stole the offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, which, good for him. Terrible organization. You're not going to go anywhere. Bryce Young, I'm very sorry. Your career is going to go to the shit. So, in the fantasy draft that we did, even the freaking computer was avoiding the freaking Panthers players. Like, I ain't touching anybody here. So, I think Hubbard was still there, like in the 10th round. It was crazy. So, Saints at home.
Are they home? Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll do Saints.
Okay, let's move on from these two.
I have negative interest in this game.
Yeah. So God picked home.
You would have to pay me to watch it.
God picked home. Pick the Saints again. Let's
go.
Let's go. Let's see if he keeps doing it again. Next, continue. Another boring matchup. The Minnesota Vikings versus the New York Giants. Vikings, biggest storyline. They drafted their first round draft pick went to J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback for the championship winning team, Michigan Wolverines, who's now injured and out for the season. So he's not going to play at all. He was going to start on the bench behind Sam Darnold, which, it's honestly good for him. He could have learned a lot and stuff, but now he's injured. He's not going to play. Sucks for him, but that's what happens. That's what happens when you go be a quarterback in Minnesota. You'll get injured. It's their thing. Who knows how long Sam Darnold's going to be there too. On the Giants side, they got one of the best wide receivers of the league. It was debatable who was the best wide receiver, Marvin Harris Jr. or this man, Malik Neighbors. There was actually a lot of people who wanted the Chargers to draft Malik Neighbors, but apparently this guy's already starting a hell of a lot of trouble in New York. Like, they had a bunch of joint practices, and the dude started a bunch of fights. You're the number one overall draft pick for the team. You already got paid. Don't start fights. You already made the team, guy. You don't need to go start fights. What's wrong with you? Also, don't punch people who have helmets. So, no, it's I think it's the protector. Also, there's videos of him just throwing money on strip clubs and stuff. So clearly, let's just say
a guy you want to be friends with?
Oh, definitely. But let's just say controversial is a nice way of putting it. Not problematic yet. Well, actually, yeah, because, start a bunch of fights. But
yeah, we're going to be hearing more stories of this guy.
Well, especially because it's New York. And, freaking media loves talking about stupid New York teams. But that's all we have to say about these two. Eric, who do you like?
What do I like? I don't like anybody.
S. Flores 916 says the Panthers to win. Really?
I added them. I don't. If that's our only pick in the season.
All right, fair enough. Eric, who do you like?
Home field advantage. Giants.
Giants. You see, I think.
Plus, I like Dable as a coach.
The Giants are just such a mess, though. They're such a freaking mess. Give me the Vikings. I just think they're overall. I think they're a better team, and they have.
That's all right. That's all right.
You know what? We need to have some kind of conflict here. Home. Got picked home. Next, the Raiders visiting the Los Angeles Chargers. And do I even need to say it? Do I need to say the important storyline in this game here? Freaking Chargers get the man, the myth, the legend, Jim freaking Harbaugh as their head coach. And oh my freaking God, I'm so happy. This has been the most interesting freaking offseason the Chargers have ever had. At least in my lifetime. Seems like every single week we could have made a podcast talking about the Chargers. So we're not going to go through every single move they made, but holy freaking shit. For the first time in my life, I'm actually excited about the Chargers season. I'm not worried that the head coach is going to fuck it up. I like that the freaking roster is deep. I like that they're not freaking in the freaking in budget hell. It's not budget. What's the word I'm looking for when they don't have any money?
Cap space.
They're not in cap space hell anymore. Holy shit. What Jim freaking Harbaugh and Joe Ortiz have done for this team is miraculous. They might have turned everything around. We don't know yet. They still haven't played a single football game, but everything appears to be moving in the right direction. Every single place that Jim Harbaugh goes, he immediately turns around bad teams. They become winners. The issue is the culture. The man is a culture changer. Now, the team's not perfect. They have a lot of issues. There's still a lot of question marks. They got a lot of free agents who were, let's say, in redemption years. We're not sure if they were bad or they just had a bad year or they had injuries. They got a bunch of people from Carolina who honestly terrible team, terrible organization, terrible head, terrible everything. So I don't blame the terrible play then. They also got a bunch of people from the Titans. They got a bunch of people from the Ravens. They, overall, looking at this roster, it's not perfect, but it's better than it was last season in terms of depth. Because before, the depth was you went from an A player to an F player. That was your bench. Now you might go from a B player to a C player. So the drop-off will not be as terrible. So, in Jim Harbaugh, we trust until he starts giving us a reason not to. And right now, at least, I'm excited. I'm actually considering giving the Chargers money again. So, we'll see how that goes. Let's see a few comments here. I just hope Spanos gives him control. So far, it looks like they have given up control. QJ is the only wide receiver that can be both Butterfingers and have brick hands at the same time. Yeah, the problem is Spanos getting too involved. So hopefully Spanos lets Jim do his job. Listen, I'm pretty sure that this was discussed when they were signing his contract. I'm pretty sure. Otherwise, Jim Harbaugh would not have signed there. If the Spanoses would have been like, hey, by the way, we're doing this, Jim would have been like, you know what? I got other options. So, and he probably would have gone to the Raiders too. So thank God that didn't happen. So far, they've the GM has done more trades in the offseason, his first offseason, than freaking Tom Telesco did his entire career with the Chargers. So it looks like a different team. It looks like a different organization. They got the bolt. They look good in every single way. Honestly, I can't think of a way that they don't look better. Eric, what do you think?
Just please don't suck. Please. I'm begging you.
Now,
please.
Now this is interesting because, you know, I pay a lot of attention to what the Chargers do, and I might be blinded by it, right? You know, you can't see the forest for the trees. So I started listening to other teams who we have, you know, on the calendar. And it's interesting because everybody, let's say the most objective people, think that the Chargers are going to win maybe 7 games, which is nuts. Because their logic for a lot of people who are like, yeah, the Chargers are still going to suck, is that they sucked last season, right? They only won 5 games. They suck. The problem with the Chargers last season was not the players. It was not. They had a lot of talent. The issue was the head coach. He sucked. The issue was the defense. And it's not because they did not have talented defensive players. It's because the defensive coordinator, who also was the head coach, sucked. When he was gone, they had a better defense. And they didn't really have a defensive coordinator. The defensive coordinator was just like, basically, you know what? Just do whatever you want. Fuck it. And they played better. So the issue was Brandon Staley. A good head coach can elevate a C player to an A player. A bad head coach can elevate an A player to an F player. I mean, can downgrade a player from A to F. So in Jim Harbaugh, we trust until he, you know, starts fucking up, which I don't think he will. So again, I've listened to podcasts for the Cardinals. The Cardinals think they're going to beat the Chargers. The Raiders think they're going to beat the Chargers this game. The Broncos think they might beat the Chargers this game. So maybe we're too close to it, but I think objectively, this team is considerably better than they were last year, especially in the head coaching arena. So overall, the only room where I'd say was a considerable downgrade was wide receivers, because again, they lost Mike Williams and they lost Keenan Allen. 2 legit wide receivers, 1 and 2, right? Legit wide receivers. Yeah. Injury prone, which was the problem. Paid too much. Kind of on the older side. So now it's going to be interesting to see which of the new younger wide receivers hit. However, Greg Roman as an offensive coordinator is more run heavy. We got the 2 running backs from the Ravens, J.K. Dobbins, who is, his career average is like 7 yards per play. The issue is that the dude's made of glass. So if he's healthy, he's averaging, 6. He's averaging like 6 yards per play. That's half a first down per play. So hopefully he'll stay healthy. And they got Gus Edwards, the Gus Bus, who I had him in fantasy last season. The man's unstoppable in the red zone. So they have a true freaking red zone threat. They drafted a freaking the best tackle in the draft. They got a wide receiver who's supposedly going to be has a lot of potential if he's not injured. Palmer should be back. Supposedly they're fixing QJ. Who knows? It's still a lot of question marks out there. The point is, I'm excited, and here's the kicker. If you watch the defense play in the preseason, they played freaking lights out. And it was the bench. Joey Bosa did not play a snap. Khalil Mack did not play a snap. Derwin James did not play a snap. So the bench players for the defense looked legit. So, Denzel Perriman also played. Deion Henley also played. But the stars did not play. And they looked awesome. So I'm very excited about this defense. I think it'll be way feistier. The strongest room in this team is the edge rushers. You got Khalil Mack. You got Joey Bosa. You got Tui Tuipulotu. And I forget the new guy that they got. But they got him from Atlanta. I forget his name. Again, there's too many names. But dude could have been a starter anywhere else. So best room for this team is that one. Worst room is probably the wide receivers. But that's just because they're unproven. They might actually be better than expected. We'll see. Eric, any thoughts?
Man, is there anything good in the Raiders camp?
We'll talk about the Raiders in a minute. By the way, LG Boy says, let's go! Can't wait for the season to start. Gus Becerra, hopefully they stop matching up Derwin James 1v1 against wide receivers. Let homie roam the field, for God's sake. Chuck Dominguez, 100% Raider hater here, so Chargers for the dub. But it is going to be interesting this season. Listen, all right, Derwin James. Here's the issue.
We paid him a lot of money.
All right, they paid him a lot of money. Dude's extremely talented. Frickin' Brandon Staley was hoping that he would do everything. And by hoping that he could do everything, they put him in the worst positions possible. Jesse Minter's philosophy, the new defensive coordinator, his philosophy is, we're going to ask you to do less so that you can play faster. So we're not going to expect you to do everything every single game. So for this team, we'll plan this way. We'll keep it, we'll make it simpler for you, more complicated for the other team, because we're going to hide stuff. The thing that he does in his schemes is he hides a lot of stuff. So it'll be easier because we're asking you to do less, but what we're asking you to do, we want you to do better. So the advantage of not having to think too much is that you can react faster. And if you listen to a lot of players, they say that, okay, I was thinking too much, or when you don't think, you just do. You become faster. This was a theme throughout the offseason with a lot of players. No, it was just, you just don't think, you do. That's what you want. You want the muscle memory. You want them, the easier schemes. You want everything. So Jesse Minter said, Derwin James will do everything, but not every single game. We're going to ask him to do less so he can do more. I like it. It sounds like he likes it. It sounds like it's working out. From what we've seen in the offseason, it looks like the defense is getting it. They started, stealing the ball like crazy. They had 6 turnovers against the Cowboys. Again, bench against bench, but whatever. So, again, the issue wasn't the talent. It was how they were using it. And they were being guided by a retard named Brandon Staley. So, I'm excited. I think Derwin James might win MVP, defensive MVP of the season, of the defensive player of the year, if he stays healthy.
I'll subscribe to that.
Yeah. So, on the other hand, the Raiders, they hired head coach Antonio Pierce, who was the interim head coach last season, and Tom Telesco, the former GM of the Chargers.
Ooh.
Let me tell you, let's talk about stupid fucking decisions, okay? Listen, I understand why they hired Antonio Pierce. I get it. I understand. If I was, in fact, I said it in the podcast, if I'm Antonio Pierce and I'm going to the meeting with my boss, the owner of the Raiders, and he's asking me, why should you be the head coach? Every single answer to any question, whatever, would be, well, when I was beating all of our division rivals this season, one of them in historic fashion, I learned this. Or like, oh, I learned that I could be a head coach. Like, oh, well, what's your favorite flavor of Gatorade? Well, when I was beating all of our division rivals this season, one of them in historic fashion, I realized that my favorite flavor of Gatorade is lemon. So I would have answered every single question starting that way. Because the dude did beat the Broncos, did beat the Chiefs in Christmas, and did destroy the Chargers to the point that they fired, by the way, thank you. They fired a head coach during the season and the GM. So thank you to this man for that. That being said, I don't think he's that great of a head coach. However, we'll see. The players love him for sure. And his mentality is our defense is going to beat the shit out of you and we're going to run the ball like crazy. I like that philosophy. We'll see if he's actually a good head coach. I'm not that convinced, but you know, at least the players are motivated. The Raiders have maybe the best wide receiver in the league, Devontae Adams. They have maybe the best edge rusher in the league. What's his freaking name? What's the redhead's dude's name? Who's all tatted up.
It's been a year, bruh.
I know, I forget his name, but I hate him. He's the dude who broke Justin Herbert's finger. What? So
I forgot about that.
But they have the GM Tom Telesco. Let me tell you a little bit of Tom Telesco. All right. Here's an interesting stat for you. A little fun little fact. So the Chargers had Tom Telesco for nearly a decade. In that time, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they only re-signed 2 players that they drafted from the second round down. That means that they only re-signed players from the first round of the draft. Out of everybody else, they only re-signed 2 guys in his entire tenure. And they didn't re-sign all the first round draft picks. Jerry Tillery. What does this say about this man's ability to draft players? You didn't sign more than 2 players that was below the second round of the draft? That's insanity. Supposedly you build your team from the second round down. That's the majority. That should be the majority of your bench. And none of them was worth re-signing? None of them? Well, 2? That's the worst thing I can say about Tom Telesco. That's how terrible he was at his freaking job. So, then, didn't really do any trades during the season. Overpaid a bunch of players that he shouldn't have, and put you in freaking cap hell. Listen, thank God the Raiders have him. You know what? Have fun. Enjoy it. Good for you guys. I'm not going to miss him.
So I'm picking the Chargers.
Yeah, me too. I'm going to pick the Chargers. Technically, all right, now here's the more interesting thing. Will it actually be a home game? What do you think is going to be the Charger-Raider ratio with the Jim Harbaugh effect?
I think the Jim Harbaugh effect is going to start having...
Home. By the way,
I feel like more people... Yeah, I feel like more and more people are becoming interested in the Chargers because of this, off-season stuff going on, but...
By the way, I couldn't remember the edge player's name, so Chuck Dominguez says, who cares? He's a Raider player. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Let's say 60-40 Raiders, probably.
All right, that's fair. Wait, dude, 40 is phenomenal for the Chargers. So it'll be interesting. I think it's going to be a close game. The Raiders have the advantage that it's continuity with the same head coach, same everything. I think it's going to take the Chargers maybe a little bit to get things going. However, I think it should be enough to beat the freaking Raiders because the Raiders are terrible. At least on paper. We'll see. Again, because they have no freaking quarterback. Gardner Minshew is a journeyman. He can help you out in a game or 2. He can't be your starter the entire season. So we'll see. I have faith that freaking Jim Harbaugh is worth 5 to 7 wins. More than last season. So they won 5 without Jim Harbaugh. I think with Jim Harbaugh, they can win 10 to 12. Objectively speaking, it depends on how quickly they turn around. Because they also, a factor here is that the Chargers have a really easy schedule because they were one of the worst teams of the league. So they have an easy schedule. They have the head coach that has the most winningest record in the NFL. They have one of the best freaking quarterbacks in the NFL. They have potentially, the best edge room in the NFL, and they have a legit safety number one. So there's an opportunity for them to do great things this season. The most important thing, I think, is it's an easy schedule. They're still in the division with the champs, but I like their odds. Being optimistic. Hopefully the injury bug does not strike this season, but we'll see. Listen, a good season for the Chargers is them over 500. Would you agree? So 9-8.
9-8.
That's okay. That's good. Anything below that is bad. Making it to the playoffs is a phenomenal season. Anything above that, I might faint. I might cry.
I'm gonna say they win at least 12.
You're saying 12. You're going 12. You're going in all the way.
Well, no, I would have gone 17 if I did that.
Fair enough. All right.
How much you going for?
Listen, I expect at least 9. Again, I expect them to. No, I'm saying.
No punk bitch.
Shut up. I'm saying I expect them to be above 500. If all goes well, I think, based on how I saw their calendar, I think they will end up with 11 wins.
11 wins. I think they're going 12.
Listen, they go up against the AFC North. All right? And I think some of those are back to back. Let me, you want to do the calendar real quick?
I didn't think this through.
Yeah, let's do it real quick. I mean, it's my pod. We can do whatever we want. Okay, so here you go.
You can probably go fast for the last few teams.
All right, so just say win, lose, right?
Okay.
Panthers at home. I'm sorry.
We already did this.
No, okay, so Raiders at home.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And keep count.
Schedule. Okay. We beat them.
Okay. Panthers, Carolina.
Yeah, we beat them.
Pittsburgh. In Pittsburgh.
It feels like one of those where we're just randomly going to lose.
Okay.
I'm going to put that as a maybe.
Chiefs at home.
I'm going to put us down as we win one and we lose one. So we're going to beat them on the road.
Okay. Broncos, Denver.
Random win. Yeah, we win.
Cardinals, Arizona.
Arizona doesn't win at home. Yeah.
Okay. Chargers hosting the Saints.
Yeah, I'll take that.
All right. Browns in Cleveland.
That one's gonna be bullshit. Let's give us one from the AFC North.
Okay. They host the Titans.
Sure.
Bengals at home.
I'll give it to the Bengals.
Ravens at home.
I forgot the Ravens were in that division. You know what? I'm giving it to the Steelers.
Okay. Falcons in Atlanta. You know, the team that should win the Super Bowl this year, according to them. All right.
Yeah. So fuck them.
Chiefs at home.
No, they're the Chiefs.
I'm sorry, no, Chiefs on the road. I'm sorry, Chiefs in Arrowhead.
We beat them there.
Okay, Bucks at home.
Why not?
I'm pretty sure I know how these are gonna go, so we'll go faster. Broncos, Patriots at home. Oh, no, sorry, no. Broncos at home. Patriots in New England.
Don't matter.
Raiders in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the final score?
14.
14 wins.
We're winning 14. We're winning 14. We're going to the fucking Super Bowl. Let's do it.
Wait, so they lost 3 AFC games, then one against the Chiefs?
The Bengals beat us, the Chiefs beat us, and the Ravens beat us. No one else.
Okay, so just 4 teams beat you. It's 17 games.
Three teams.
You said
the Ravens beat us, and then the Chiefs are going to beat us once,
and the Bengals,
and then the Bengals.
You also need to remember. You also need to remember one very important thing. the bye week is week 5.
That's really early.
Yeah. So after the bye week is Broncos, Cardinals, Saints. Easy. That's an easy. Now we go Browns, Titans, Bengals, Ravens. Nonstop. Then
We're going
Falcons, Chiefs. That's a yeah, you're not getting a break at all after that.
We're going hot.
Listen, let's just say I'm concerned about the Falcons game because it's after the Ravens game, and the Ravens play you really hard, and they beat you down. I'm not sure how they're going to go. I'm also concerned about the freaking Chiefs game after the Steelers game because the Steelers play you really hard. And we'll see.
Oh, they are steel.
Like I said, I think right now they might beat the Raiders. I think that's a coin toss, but I think they should win. So Steelers, Chiefs, they might drop 2 to them. I don't think. They might lose. Okay, so I'm just saying might lose. Might lose against the Steelers. Might lose against, because I don't want to be too negative. They might lose against the entire AFC North. That's a deadly division. They might lose against the Chiefs twice. They might split with the Raiders and the Broncos. And they might lose against the Falcons. So those are the teams that I'm actually worried about. Everything else should be a win. So if you take away all those, and if you win a few of those, I think, objectively speaking, 11 wins should be realistic. Objectively speaking.
So I'm seeing the chat roast me here. Well, here's the thing, because he says
let me just read all them.
The Browns beat them 2. So you're tripping with 14 wins. I'm not tripping. I'm completely fucking delusional.
Let me see. Guzbazar says plenty of Cholo Batos will be in attendance. Shit. Chargers winning at least 30 games. Bold.
Let's fucking go. Fucking go.
Chuck Dominguez. Ha ha ha. Guzbazar, if the Chargers lose week 1, Eric will change his mind to 2 wins total. Lol. Chuck Dominguez, you guys understating the Broncos. S. Flores, Browns beat them 2. Tripping with 14 wins. Lol. Listen, I agree. 14 is insane. But fuck it, we ride.
Yeah, let's fucking go.
No, honestly, the Browns is a very difficult team to beat. Their defense is phenomenal. It all depends on how Deshaun Watson comes back, right? That's the thing. Because their defense will be very dangerous. I'm pretty sure about that. And they got Mike Bravel there as a consultant. So it probably will be a better defense. But it'll all come down to Deshaun Watson. Again, the Browns could beat the Chargers on defense alone. But we'll see. The one advantage that the Chargers have against the AFC North, the one advantage is that John Harbaugh has coached the Ravens for over the past decade. And I don't know if you know this. John Harbaugh is Jim Harbaugh's brother. And they have the same dad, right? So the Harbaugh...
Is this how it works?
Yes, that's how it works. So apparently their dad does scouting for the Ravens. So like unofficially he does it like to help out his sons. So he has been doing scouting for the other AFC North teams. So he helps them like, all right, so I think the Browns have been, so he gives them books about all the notes that he has on the other teams that they're going to play against. And so now Jim Harbaugh has access to those books. So I think it's an advantage. However, I don't think they're as talented as the AFC North teams yet. So they might be able to squeak 1 or 2 by there. But overall, I think they're going to split 50-50. Like a good situation with them splitting 50-50 against the AFC North. But they're likely to lose at least 3 out of 4. If they beat the Steelers week 3 with Russell Wilson, who sucks, then I might be more inclined to think that they're going to split 50-50. However, I doubt it. Because again, their bye week is week 5. They're going to be exhausted after going through the Browns, the Titans, the Bengals, and the Ravens. That's brutal. Brutal. Because again, at least the Titans with Mike Bravel, they played you pretty hard. And they beat you down. So now they don't have Derrick Henry to run it down your throat and beat down your defensive line, all that stuff. But we'll see. Objectively speaking, 11 is what I'm expecting. That's what I'm saying. 11, I think, is doable.
After much deliberation and thinking about it, we're winning 15.
You know what? Let's go. Let's freaking go. Anyway,
this is the only fucking season I've been excited about a head coach for the Chargers. Hope.
Anyway, by the way,
I don't care. I'm completely fucking delusional.
I picked the Raiders to lose or the Chargers to win. Who'd you pick?
I picked the Chargers.
Did God already pick?
Yeah, he picked the Chargers.
Ah, good for him. Next, we got
God bless him.
Yeah. We got the Broncos hosting the Seattle Seahawks hosting the Denver Broncos in a game I believe I already seen before in week 1. Didn't Russell Wilson go to Seattle week 1? What was it? 2 seasons ago?
That was an ex-girlfriend game.
Yeah, 2 seasons ago.
That was his ex-girlfriend game, right?
I think so, yeah. Well, now it's 2 different head coaches. And I think 1 similar quarterback.
Geno Smith's still there.
Yeah, Geno Smith. So, very different situation. Let's go with the biggest storyline. So, biggest storylines. Seattle Seahawks, of course, get a new head coach. I don't get it. Pete Carroll was still doing a legit job, I think. But they got Mike Macdonald. Mike Macdonald was the defensive coordinator for the Ravens, the number 1 defense last season. Good for them. If you were gonna take a risk on a first-time head coach, this guy's not a bad option. We'll see how it pans out. He looks at least to know what he's doing. Again, getting a defensive head coach for Seattle seems to be par for the count. However, I don't think that he's an upgrade to Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll was pretty good. But we'll see. The issue is that they don't really have a quarterback. Geno Smith is a backup at best. But whatever, we'll see. The big storyline for the Broncos is, that they've named their starter, Bo Nix. Rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. Now, Bo Nix has started a buttload. Every single game ever he started it in college. Like, he's got a bunch of reps. So, supposedly, he should be NFL ready. Sean Payton's very excited about this guy. So, maybe they got their guy for the future. Who knows? Big question mark. Eric, who do you like?
I don't put a lot of stock on preseason.
Oh, by the way, Chuck Dominguez.
Gladly.
15, say no to drugs. Broncos! Yes, revenge.
You see, those two ideas don't go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, he says they're undefeated in preseason, so.
Okay, so I'm putting Chuck down for the Seahawks there.
Who do you like, Eric?
I'm gonna go with the Dirty Donkeys on this one. I'm gonna go with the Broncos. I don't know. I don't like them ditching Pete Carroll. I think they did him dirty. I think he still had a lot of gas in the tank. And this new coach, he kind of looks like that wrestler Evan Bourne, and it kind of freaks me out.
Okay. All right, so we got 2 big unknowns here. You got unknown from the Broncos, which would be the quarterback, and the unknown for the Seahawks would be the head coach. When you don't know what to pick, you go with home. Seattle Seahawks at home, the 12th man. First game that should still be, people should be excited. New head coach, they should be excited. They'll bring in the heat. They'll bring the heat. So I'm going to go with the Seahawks.
All right, flip your coin.
God picks home. And finally,
also, Chuck, if you could give me your pick for the Titans versus Bears game, please. Thank you.
All right. Next, a very interesting game.
God went home?
Yeah. Very interesting game, at least on paper. Cleveland Browns hosting the Dallas Cowboys. The all-in Cowboys who did shit the offseason. Who didn't want to pay anybody and who ended up overpaying everybody. Now, if you want to look up if Dak Prescott's got a new contract yet, the interesting storyline here, again, is Jerry Jones, who thinks that nobody else can be a better GM than he is. Dude needs to retire. They need to get another GM. They need to stop fucking up. And to me, the interesting storyline is that they did not fire Mike McCarthy. And I get it. Mike McCarthy's been really good during the season. He's won a buttload of games. And he has won a Super Bowl before. However, I don't know how you can still be that terrible managing the clock in the playoffs. I don't get it. And my rule is, if I know better than you, you're a fucking moron. Because I'm not particularly smart when it comes to all this shit, right? I don't know shit about fuck. So if I know more than
We
you,
have a lot of hours of evidence that we don't know
are
nothing.
in fucking trouble. So, I mean, there is the theory of like, okay, Mike McCarthy, if he doesn't win this season, he'll get fired and they'll hire Bill Belichick. I don't think Bill Belichick wants to go work with Jerry Jones, but we'll see. We'll see. I just found it really funny, and as you mentioned before, and which one of the reasons that they're like, we're all in, but we're not paying anybody, and because we didn't pay anybody, the price now went up for everybody, and now we're overpaying for everybody. So you know what? Fuck them. That's what they get. By the way, Chuck picked the Titans, so that's their storyline. We'll see.
I'm checking, and apparently the Cowboys are in no rush to give Prescott a new contract.
Prescott is an interesting cat because he wins you games, but he doesn't look good doing it.
Quarterback.
He's an okay quarterback. Again,
Who's had great moments.
He's one of those quarterbacks that kind of just ruins it for you. Because like you're never gonna be that terrible, but you're gonna be that great, but you're never gonna go all the way.
Weird, like being like, oh yeah, let's get rid of this guy. It's like, well,
he has one, but you
all
don't
right.
feel like he's ever gonna go all the way, and he's just gonna ruin draft picks for you. But
yeah,
we'll see. Next we got the Cleveland Browns, which honestly the only question mark for that team, because it looked really solid last season, is quarterback. It's Deshaun Watson. 1, will he be healthy? 2, will he return to his former glory? We'll see. Honestly, the Browns are not that exciting. Also, Chubb, will he return to his former glory?
can he walk?
I think so. I think I'm not sure if he's going to start the first game, but he will return in week 3 or something.
I refuse to watch that. I refuse to watch that replay ever again.
Yeah, the problem with the Browns is they're not exciting to watch, but we'll see. Yeah, no, we'll see.
They've had their moments.
Sure.
Also, Gus Becerra, Jerry Jones needs a Kamala coup.
Come on,
I
man.
like that.
Brutal. So, Eric, who do you like on this one?
Not Jerry Jones.
I'm going to go first. Give me the Browns at home. Give me the Browns at home. Yeah, I like their defense. Now, these are two very difficult, very tough defenses. I think they're going to neck and neck in fantasy, which one's going to make more points. They're both in the top 5, I believe. So, at the end of the day, their offenses, I think they're equally mediocre. Well, I mean, they both have like superstars in their own side, but I like the Browns at home. So, there you go. Home.
All right. Also,
Got picked home. What did you pick?
I went home.
Oh, okay. There you go. Next, and let's do this one kind of quickly because who gives a fuck? Washington Commanders. They got a new head coach, Dan Quinn, who sucks. They got Austin Eckler, who sucks. They got Darius Davis, who sucks. So, and they also got a new quarterback, who is an unproven commodity. So, you know what? We'll see what happens. The Buccaneers, well, they lost their offensive coordinator, and they paid Baker Mayfield, I believe. So, good for Baker. Their wide receivers are also aging, so we'll see how they do. Who do you like for this one?
They still got Godwin?
Yeah, but he's injury prone.
Evans?
Evans is aging. Godwin is injury prone.
Yeah, I'll take the Bucks. They're at home.
Yeah,
And I don't like the Commanders.
I agree. I 100% agree. Home. Next, we got an interesting matchup.
Wow.
Yeah, a rematch from the playoffs.
Interesting.
The Detroit Lions hosting the Los Angeles Rams, the primetime game, which is, I was
Who
shocked.
won their last one? I think the Lions won, right?
Yeah, the Lions won the playoff game, and they went to the NFC Championship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, big storyline for the Rams. One of the biggest news bits that happened the entire offseason. Aaron Donald retired. So, probably the best defensive player in the league retired. So, that's a major downgrade in your defense. On the other hand, the freaking Lions, their weak spot was their defense, and their first round draft pick was Terrion Arnold, the quarterback from Alabama, who looks to be pretty pretty good. So one massive downgrade on defense, the other one massive upgrade on defense. At least, you know, on paper. As I mentioned, I think the Lions have a chance to win the Super Bowl this season, and I'm sticking with them starting the season red hot like they did last year. So give me the Lions.
I believe the Leones got the cojones. I'm gonna go with the Lions as well. They're still the lovable little scoundrels.
They still feel like the underdogs, don't they?
Yeah, and I kind of love them for it.
Sure. Okay. Home.
All right.
I already picked them, so whatever. Who do you think is the next team to win a Super Bowl that's never won a Super Bowl? Like, I already said the Lions.
So which ones are left? Chargers, Lions,
Falcons.
Vikings, Falcons.
Browns, I believe.
Browns.
Jets. Or have the Jets won?
They must have.
I'm going to look that up. Teams with...
Let's see. So we got the Browns.
Ooh,
Lions,
the Bills.
Texans, Jaguars.
Okay, 12 teams.
Cardinals,
Chargers, Falcons, Bills, Panthers, Bengals, Browns, Lions, Texans, Jaguars, Chargers, Vikings, Titans. There's some few legit options there. All right, so let's go with the top dogs. Obviously, the Super Bowl winner, the team that should win the Super Bowl is the Atlanta Falcons. Obviously, otherwise they're fucking retards. Let's say one tier below them, you got the Buffalo Bills, the Bengals, the Browns, the Lions, the Texans, and one tier below that, I'm gonna put the Chargers because they're still unproven yet compared to the other ones. The Vikings, they don't have a quarterback. The Titans, they fired everybody, and Will Levis, who knows if he's the truth. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I don't trust them. The Carolina Panthers are in dumpster fire, and the Cardinals, I think, might be in the tier with the Chargers or maybe one below them. So between the ones that I mentioned that have potential, I don't trust the Bills with Sean McDermott. I just don't. No. He's proven that he can't win in the playoffs. So I'm kicking them out.
Josh Allen, I'm sad to say, I think he's gonna start declining.
Yeah, the Bengals. If Joe Burrow is healthy, they might be. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a Bengals-Lions Super Bowl if they're healthy. The Lions, if I already said, I think they're gonna win. The Browns, again. Even if Deshaun Watson's healthy, I don't think they can beat a healthy Bengals. I don't see it.
I'll take the Texans.
All right, you're gonna take the Texans and the Chargers.
I think they're the team with the largest upside for like the next 10 years.
I think that's the Chargers, but I think we'll start seeing. We're gonna start seeing them. What the true vision is next season. It might be this season.
What I mean with the upside is we already saw they're a great team last season, and this season they got better.
Okay, fair enough.
And they're still young, and they're still hungry, and I think they got it.
Fair enough. All right, so that would be that. I picked the Lions. Who'd you pick?
The Lions.
And who did God pick?
Or on the Super Bowl?
No, on this.
Lions, and Lions.
Okay. Did God pick?
Lions.
Okay. Next. The first Monday Night Football game of the season. We got the Super Bowl losers, San Francisco 49ers, hosting the New York Jets. Aaron Rodgers and the New York Jets. So, storyline for the Jets.
This one's going to be the biggest coin flip.
Aaron Rodgers back in the NFL after severe injury and kind of causing a lot of drama. Like, he missed some training camp time that he was supposed to be there because he went to Egypt. It sounds like there's some beef with his number one wide receiver whose name I don't recall right now. However, they did get him a new offensive tackle. The defense was legit last season.
They got Mike Williams.
Mike Williams, who's going to be healthy for like 5 games. So who knows what the Jets will be? And who knows who will Aaron Rodgers be? Like, will he be MVP Aaron Rodgers? Will he be old man Aaron Rodgers that gets injured 4 plays into the season? Who knows?
Listen, he's one season, like, I understand the concern, but keep in mind he got injured, and then the previous season he won MVP, and then the previous season before that he won MVP.
I know. So, biggest. I'm not going to training camp to go to Egypt. That's just nuts. Like, this might be the most interesting man in the NFL. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with him. On the other side, Brandon Ayuk, causing a lot of freaking drama during the offseason, got paid. Wide receiver, honestly, their best wide receiver, got paid. Yeah. Also, their #1 draft pick, another wide receiver, got shot. I just saw this. I haven't confirmed it, but I heard that he was going to get mugged in San Francisco, which, you know, obviously, and he got shot. So, you know, I wish him a speedy recovery. It looks like he was stable, but holy fuck. That talk about unlucky. No wonder Ayuk got paid, because, you know,
San Francisco 49ers player Ricky Pearsall shot in chest during attempted robbery.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah. Welcome to San Fran. So, Eric, who do you like? Honestly, there's some good matchups. Like, I'm just going to go with very quickly with the games that I think are very interesting. Ravens, Chiefs. Green Bay, Philadelphia is interesting, just so that we can get a measuring stick on the Packers. You got the Colts,
Chargers,
Texans.
Raiders, personally.
Sure, of course. Cowboys.
I'm curious about the Bills, Cardinals.
Cowboys, Browns.
I'm
Rams,
curious in two
Rams,
ways.
Lions.
I'm trying to see how much the Bills got worse and how much the Cardinals got better.
All right, let's see. Chuck Dominguez. I think I'm using the same drugs as Eric. 15-0 Broncos. Hot damn.
So they're just not going to play the last two?
No, I think they're going to beat the Seahawks 15-0. That makes more sense.
Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's still a weird score.
You know what? 5 field goals is not crazy.
Sure, yeah. Let's go.
Yeah.
Also, Chuck, if you could give me the last 4 picks, that'd be cool.
Okay. So, Eric, Jets,
I'm gonna
49ers.
Go with... Oh, God. And I went for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl, huh?
Yep.
Jets. Fuck it. It'll be funny.
Listen, I want to pick the Jets. I like the Jets. I think the Jets might win.
We didn't see what they were.
I know.
We didn't see it.
I know. And now they're better because they got really high draft picks. Well, not really high because, again, they played good enough without Rodgers there. I really like the Jets, which I don't like saying. It feels dirty. It feels wrong. It feels like they're cursed. Like, there's actually a joke in Curb Your Enthusiasm. You know, have you ever seen Curb Your Enthusiasm?
A little bit.
All right. Well, there's an episode where one of Larry's friends or old friends kills himself, and everybody's like, "Well, I don't understand what happened." He's like, "I don't know. He seemed good. He was okay. I mean, last time I talked to him, he was kind of upset. We were talking about the Jets. He was upset, and Larry, what's the Jets? The Jets got another one." So the Jets actually have like a kill count of fans. So, I want to see what they are. However, the 49ers are a proven commodity. I think they have the best odds to win the Super Bowl this year. I think everybody's healthy. Except, you know, the first round draft pick who got shot. If you ignore him, you know what? Let's make it interesting. Like, if the Jets win, I'll be happy, but I think, let's give me the 49ers. Give me the 49ers.
And honestly, my head pick is the 49ers.
I get it.
My heart pick is the Jets.
I want the Jets to do okay. Because it would be really funny if they win the AFC East. Like, that would be funny. When's the last time that happened?
I just want something funny.
Yeah. All right, so God picks away. And there you go. That's it. Those are our picks, our predictions for the week 1 of the NFL. Next week, next Monday, again, we'll be streaming, I guess, at 9, because that's when Eric's available. You'll be able to see how little we know about fuck. But am I forgetting anything, Eric? Is everything okay? Everything cool?
What's your realistic like how many do you think you're gonna get right
Today?
No, like from your picks that you got. Like,
How many
you think
games
you're
are
gonna
there?
be
How many
over
games are there?
500?
How many games are there total? Let me do a quick. I got a calculator here. So let's see. It's 32 teams and 17 games each, but it's by half, right? So it's
No, I mean just for this week, because we don't know anything.
Oh, it's 17 games. I'm gonna get 11.
16 games.
I'm gonna get 11. Oh, 16
You getting
games.
an 11?
I'm gonna get 10.
Oh yeah.
Double digits, baby. Double digits.
I'm getting all of them right.
All right, you know what? Fair enough. Go bold. You know what? I'm gonna add a new rule to this game. New rule.
Okay.
You ready? You ready?
Yeah. Sure.
If you get all of them right, you get an extra point. What's up? What's up? What's up?
You know, can we do that? But
Another
backwards
rule
as well.
If you don't get anyone right, you lose a point.
I think it's equally as impressive to get them all wrong.
So, it's funnier that you lose a point.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, there you go. New rules, baby. You get them all right, extra point. Get them all wrong, lose a point. There you go. So it's possible to end up with negative numbers this season.
I fucking love it.
Yep. All right, so for the future, as I mentioned before, we'll be doing this every Monday, 9 o'clock. Dude, I really want to do a freaking Otaku Tuesday. I've watched a lot of really good shows and some really bad ones.
That's ironic. I've watched a lot of shitty ones.
There's a lot I want to talk about. Like a lot. I also watched a few episodes of House of the Dragon Season 2. I got a lot I want to complain about. So we need to...
Rings of Power Season 2.
Should we just get together and just... a shit day? Like this is... We're just going to shit on stuff. Because that would be fun.
Yeah, I'd like that.
All right, we need to... Listen, I've been having... Let's call it kind of a legal situation that's been fucking up my life. However, it looks like that's kind of solved already. And by the way, I didn't break any laws. People just wronged me. And actually, my video is almost done about that, so that should be fun. I'm gonna actually...
Don't believe the allegations.
Shut up. Anyway, I'm gonna probably load that sometime soon, hopefully. And once that whole situation's cleared up, my schedule should clear up. But yeah, I want to shit on freaking House of the Dragon. You can shit on Rings of Power. I want to talk about a lot of anime shows that I've watched because there's some really good ones out there. And, you know, we'll talk about other stuff. Life in general. There's, you know, we haven't caught up in a while. I haven't seen you in forever. When was the last time I saw you? When I was in your house?
Probably
last podcast.
Podcast, maybe?
Jesus Christ. This man,
Time's been flying.
He even got promoted, and, you know, we haven't even celebrated that.
Actually, that gives me a little bit more free time, which is nice.
There you go. Suffering from success. Anyway, we'll organize stuff, and we'll just pop up here randomly. So, as always, thank you for listening. Comments, questions, suggestions, you can find me at DarioSTW and at Super Dario World on Instagram. If you want to be a part of this league, you can send me your picks there or comment on this video. You can join this league at any time, but if you don't join at week 1, you will start from the same as last place, but 3 points behind, right? So you can join week 2, and you would start at whoever's at the bottom 3 points back, just, you know, to keep things fair. You know what? Let's say 3 points back starting week 5, right? That way they got a month. They got a month to start, and you would just start with last place. And right now, it looks like winner's winning $170. So there you go. Anything else you want to say?
That works for me.
Anything you want to promote? No, nothing?
NFL's back, baby.
Yeah, feels so good. As always, thanks for joining me, and we'll see you again next time. And you know what? Good luck with your fantasy leagues. Best luck to you, except Eric, because I'm going against him. Have a good one.